up, it is you. As I breathe, it is you. As I live every day, it is you. Oh, wow. As I walk, it is you. As I talk, it is you. Yeah, yeah. Everything that I do, it is you. It's no goodness of my own that I have what I have. I don't deserve the many blessings that you pour.
Good morning, good morning. It is Kiana F. Brown, and I am here at WBGR Studios at Health and Wellness with another Forgiveness Fridays. Guys, I'm excited for you to be here. We have an amazing guest with us in the studio, and it is none other than Sharon J. Lawrence. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Thank you so much for having me. Thank you.
I am excited for you to be here. This has been a long time coming.
Yes.
Your message, what you share about relationships is so important to me. But what I need for the viewers to do right now, and I share this and express this every single week, there is a little button down to the bottom of the screen on the left-hand side that says share. Yes. So I want to make sure that you are sharing this with your community, because today we are talking about conversations and communications.
That's right.
We just left a phenomenal day that everyone celebrates worldwide as it relates to love.
Yes.
But in love, we know that we have to do a couple of things. Mm-hmm. And a couple of those things are we have to communicate and we have to have conversations with one another. And so that is what we'll be sharing today. So, Miss Sharon, thank you for being here in the studios with us today. And it's our testimony time. Testimony time, I tell you guys all the time, is just merely your experience. Everyone has a testimony, which is your personal story to share. But before we get into your personal story, you know I got to know your testimony about forgiveness. What does forgiveness mean to you?
Forgiveness means releasing others so I can walk in peace.
Okay.
It's that simple for me. Mm-hmm. Because I always tell people, you want to forgive people. And you want to do it so that they can keep moving.
Yes.
But more so that you're not holding on to stuff that limits your purpose.
Yes. That is amazing.
You end up being held hostage if you don't forgive people. You think it's hurting them, but it's actually hurting you.
Yeah, and that just reminds me when you said that you're holding yourself hostage. That also reminds me of this thing that I've been sharing called mental incarceration. And literally, guys, that's what forgiveness does to you. Now, I'm going to hold up this, and this is cute. This is a nice book. I love it. This book is by Sharon, and I haven't read it yet, but I'm hoping that this is my copy.
Yes, it's her copy.
I got a copy. I'm excited. I love gifts. I love presents, guys. This is 7 simple ways to shape your marriage. So 7 simple ways. Before we get into this, let's hear a testimony about Miss Sharon. Let's find out about Miss Lawrence.
So where can I start? Because I feel like my life is full of many testimonies. I mean, everybody always starts with, I could have been here, but I'm here.
Yes.
Instead. But I would say my biggest testimony is pretty much surviving all the stuff that people try to keep me pulled down.
Okay.
And, basically at times made me feel like I would be nothing. And so my testimony is believing that God had greater for me.
Amen.
And believing that I was going to be somebody despite all that I had experienced in relationships, family, friends, it didn't matter. I think my faith is what really carried me to this point.
Okay.
And so now I have the opportunity, to be able to help others push through so that they can heal and be a blessing to other people.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Now, look, I know that I see you all the time. Are those the same glasses?
I switch up.
Girl, let me tell y'all, she has the eyewear for the century. Her eyewear is killing it, y'all. Look, it's the eyes. Then I see that pop of blue. Y'all know blue my favorite color. I see that blue on the nails. I'm trying to do the interview, right? But all of these things keep popping out. I just wanted to. That just was in me, and I had to share that.
I'm sorry.
The blue is just pulling me. I love that energy. So share with our viewers, what was your inspiration behind your mission of service? Why did you want to become a marriage counselor? what pushed you to being able to serve couples and women and men and things of that nature? Why?
Now, it's interesting. I'll say I fell upon it, but I know that this was probably ordained by God, right?
Okay.
So for 16 years, I've been in the field, and I've worked with children, I've worked with families, you name it. I've worked in the court system, foster care. I've been kind of all over. And so about 2 years ago, May will be 2 years that I launched Selah.
Okay.
And when I started, my main mission was to provide therapy to therapists and professionals to make sure that they're taking care of themselves so that they can be more effective in their job.
Okay.
Because it's an ethical principle. You know, we have to make sure that we're okay if we're providing good service. Okay, you can't ignore yourself
Yes.
while you're taking care of others. And so before I knew it, someone said, okay, have you ever considered taking this training called Preparing Rich? And I'm like, I love couples. Everybody knows I love my husband. So, you know, we always share with other couples, you know, friends who are in relationships. We're always that couple that kind of behind the scenes are doing stuff, but we don't have to kind of broadcast it.
Okay.
And so I said, okay, I'm going to take this training. And before I knew it, the phone started ringing off the hook to the extent that I started seeing more couples than I was actually seeing.
Professionals.
Yes.
Wow.
And so I was like, okay, and I love this. And I found that I had a true passion for it. And so I was supposed to be writing another book. And I had to stop and started writing this book.
When God calls you to do something else, your purpose will just fall. It just falls in your lap, and you're not even sure. You said that you think you kind of stumbled. Let me tell you, that was God ordained. Nothing. I don't believe that anything in life happens by happenstance.
That's right.
It all happens because it's His purpose. Now, what we do with it is a different story.
Right.
And so, what are some of the common things, just to have some communication behind it? What are the common things that you find that some couples have a hard time with having conversations about or being in communication with one another?
The things that they're insecure or vulnerable about.
Okay.
Those things that they feel like they're going to be judged on. If you're talking about a movie that you like, or you won some money, no one has a problem saying, "Hey, babe, look what I won, look what I got."
Yes.
But when it's saying, honey, I messed up today. Or, I got into it with so-and-so, and feeling like you may be judged in that moment. There's this fear of being judged by the person that you say you love and you're in love with. And that really should not be.
Yeah, you know what? That's funny you said that, and I always share a little bit too much information, but that's just me. The other day, I was having a conversation with my husband, and he said something to the fact of, well, why didn't you say anything sooner? And for me, sometimes I'm afraid to say something because I feel like I'm going to get my head chopped off, but not necessarily head chopped off, just things that I don't want to hear from him, right? We all have that in relationship. You don't want to say something because you're afraid of what the response is going to be. No, I'm not afraid of him, but, just having that confrontation with him, going head to head with him about that situation. Do you have any advice or any tips for women who are, because I'm getting some help right now.
Okay.
Some women who are in my shoes, in my situation, where their helpmate loves them, but sometimes I know for me, I feel that I can kind of handle things on my own sometimes, and so I don't go to him like right away when I should. It's like, yeah, can you help me with this now? So what's a way or a tool that you could give us to help encourage us to take that step before it gets to that point?
I would say before it gets to that point, you can do it as if you're informing them.
Okay.
Hey, honey, this is what's going on, but I want to work on this on my own.
Okay.
If I feel like it's going to get out of control or things start to spiral or I feel like I'm a little in over my head, I'm coming to you.
Okay.
But I want you to be able to trust that I want to try and do this on my own.
Okay.
Versus feeling like you can't even do that, because you don't want to wait and then they feel like, well, why didn't you say something like you said? Or had you listened to me, this wouldn't have happened. Or maybe we could have been doing a check-in. Because I think that it's very important to say, okay, let me stop this at the beginning so that we don't have this friction later on.
Yes.
Keeping your partner informed of what you're doing. Unless you're planning a surprise, then no, you're not telling. But if it's about communicating effectively, being able to say, hey, what do you think about this?
Okay. Bouncing it off.
Bouncing it off.
Okay.
And also, even when there's situations where you feel like you need to process, I think it's important to let your spouses or even your friends know, hey, I'm coming to you to bounce this off of you, but right now I don't need advice.
Okay.
I need someone who can just let me get it out and vent and process in my head, and then I feel better when I'm done. Like, that's something that works for me.
Okay.
And then I have friends that I call and go, okay, now I need you, we need to process this, and I need you to give me some feedback. So that's helpful.
That was helpful for me. Okay, honey, if you're watching, I'm going to do that from now on. You know, kind of bounce it off of you. Say, hey, this is what's going on. I might need you, but right now I'm going to try to work on this. I love my show, and I love my guests because they feed me, guys. I hope they're feeding you. You're getting information. So we're going to take a moment just to say hi to everybody who's out here. We have Sheena, Yvonne, Shanae, Chandra, Tawana, Talinthia, Damalie. Good morning, Facebook. Thank you for tuning in. We even got IG over here. I got my head turned to the side. I'm just saying hi to y'all because I can't really see. But, guys, thank you for tuning in. You know, this is the time where we go to hashtag My Business is Great Spotlight. This is the opportunity that you have to share your business with the world because you know that WBGR is not just about the DMV. We are global. Get your message shared out with the world. So, guys, we are here in the studio again with Miss Sharon J. Lawrence. I am Kiana F. Brown, your forgiveness expert. And I'm forgiving myself for not communicating with my husband. I'm going to let him know and say, hey, these are the things that I might need help with. That's just the help that we've got on this side of the show, guys. We will be right back after this commercial break. See you guys soon.
I'm Sharon J. Lawrence, and I'm a therapist for therapists, professionals, and couples. I'm also a speaker and author. As a relationship counselor, I'm committed to helping couples strengthen and revive their relationships through counseling. I understand that conflict is inevitable, so through my speaking, counseling, and by way of my book, 7 Simple Ways to Shape Your Marriage, I assist couples in refocusing on the importance of working together. I look forward to sharing with you as I empower professionals and couples on their journey towards wholeness. Thank you.
Hey guys, we are back. This is Kiana F. Brown. You're tuning in to Forgiveness Fridays, and our special guest with us in the studio is Sharon J. Lawrence. She is a relationship counselor, and she's also the author of 7 Simple Ways to Shape Your Marriage. And today we are talking about conversations and communications. If you're just tuning in, I encourage you to go back and watch the replay. A little bit later, we might be doing a watch party, just to get the information out to you, because she gave us some phenomenal information. I'm not going to share it with you because you need to go ahead and press replay. But however, she has an amazing business. I know that you guys have been seeing her commercial play on the show. I've been sharing it on my social media page as well. But I want you to tell us a little bit more about what Selah means.
Selah means to pause and meditate or think about what you just read. It's in the Bible 44 times.
Okay.
Okay. A lot of people don't know that, but some people do. And you often see it in the Psalms, but I think it's 3 or 4 times in Habakkuk.
Okay.
And so you will see it there, and it's normally at a place where there's a pause in the message. And you're supposed to be able to pause and meditate or reflect.
Okay.
So for my practice, my motto is pause, reflect, and revive. And that means to pause and reflect on what it is that you're processing in sessions. And then the revive is the action piece. What are you now going to do with the information that you now received?
Okay.
What are you going to do to make changes? Because therapy and relationship counseling is about action.
Yes.
If nothing changes, nothing changes. So if you come thinking that I have this magic wand, I don't. All I'm doing is pulling out of you what's already in you
Yes.
and what you desire to see changed in your relationship and within.
Okay.
And so you have a mission and an obligation basically to help yourself. Pretty much, you don't have the luxury to sit and ignore your purpose. So it's about the work.
Yes, I love that. You do not have the luxury to not pull out your purpose. That's amazing. One of the things Dr. Miles Monroe, I love listening to him. He is so big on purpose. And you can't sit on what your purpose is.
right.
And, you know, even in relationships, like, why are we in this relationship? Why are we doing the things that we do? And Sharon is going to pull out and help you pull out those things. Like she said, she has no magic, no wand, no hocus pocus. This is something that you have to do, but she's going to help you do it. And I want to share this with the community, because in our community, I'll just go ahead and say it, a lot of us don't feel that we need to seek counsel, right? We don't feel that we need to do it. To help the viewers not be afraid of sitting in the chair, what does it look like to have a visit with Sharon J. Lawrence?
It is a place of comfort. I consider my office to be so comfortable. My husband says I go overboard. So, I mean, there's a comfy couch, there are pillows, there's treats, there's water. The lights are nice and comfortable, you know, not the cold fluorescent lights. But it's about being in an environment where there's no judgment.
Okay.
In a place where I'm encouraging you to tap into what's happening with you and understanding that it's a safe zone. And so I tell people, either you're coming to address something that's already happening or you're coming to make sure it's preventative. Am I doing the right thing?
Okay.
Am I on the right track? The other piece is helping people to understand that it's really about you being okay, even if you're not okay. Finding a place where you can get to a place of wholeness and being healthy.
Yes.
Because people are afraid of that. People are afraid of judgment. Even the therapists I work with, there's still a stigma. Nobody really talks about it, but there's a stigma amongst professionals and therapists about getting treatment, because there's this perception that we are supposed to know what to do. We may know what to do, but we get hit with life like anybody else.
Yes.
We're not exempt from anything that anyone else who comes to us is going through.
Yes.
So you have the obligation to yourself to say, I'm going to make sure I'm okay. So I always tell people I'm a therapist for therapists, professionals, and couples, but I'm also a therapist who has a therapist.
Yes.
Because it's important to me that I remain whole.
Yes, that's true. A lot of and that goes broadly with different professionals. And I'll hit on my topic of being a groomer. I can tell parents all day long that you need to brush and comb your pet. So your pet's not mad at now, guys. I think Kendall got a couple of mats in her, and I have not brushed her every day, but that goes to say that, you know, even though you're the professional, you still lack in some areas. And even though you have the knowledge and to know what to do, you don't sometimes implement that.
That's right.
So that's amazing. And I do have my other staff members who are professionals that, you know, like, Keon, you need to brush. And I know that I need to do this. You know, and just like some of the professionals know that everybody needs someone to talk to, someone to bounce something off of, but they don't do it. So that's amazing. I love your mission. I love your purpose. And I'm just really, really honored to have you in the studio here with us today. Does anybody have any questions that's here on social media? I'm going to take one question. Oh, our buddy Sir Patrick just tuned in. Hey, business partner, how are you?
Hi.
Awesome job last Saturday at Unlock Your Brilliance.
He's amazing. I met him a few weeks ago.
He does amazing work.
Does.
So I'm going to take one question, right? So before we get to that one question, I'm going to give you guys a second to post that question. If you have anything that you want to ask Ms. Lawrence, just go ahead and post it in the feed, and I'll make sure that I get that question to her. But we're going to go to the word and the definition. And you know I always have to go straight from the dictionary to the Bible, because I want to give you all perceptions of what it is. And communication is the word that I chose today. And in the dictionary, it's a process by which information is exchanged between individuals through a common system of symbols, signs, or behaviors. I'm going to read it again. A process by which information is exchanged between individuals through a common system of symbols, signs, or behavior. Do you want to break that down a little bit?
I'm going to break that down, but I want to add one more definition.
Okay.
The means of traveling or of transporting goods, such as roads or railroads. And when I think of communication, I always tell people it's like delivering a package. If you receive something in the mail and it has holes in it, and the box is damaged, you know that is not what you wanted to receive. So when you don't communicate effectively, that's how you're giving people that package.
Something broken.
You're giving them something damaged, broken, basically any old kind of way, as if they're supposed to be excited about it. But if you give me something in the blue Tiffany box, what happens? I'm going to be excited.
Excited.
I'm going to be super excited. That's how your communication needs to be.
Wow.
You need to be mindful of your message and how it comes out, so the person on the receiving end can not only hear you, but they understand you, versus being ready to be on the defense.
Yeah, and I'm sometimes on the defense. I am. I'm just going to be honest. Sometimes I am on the defense when certain people come to me with conversation. It's like, okay, so what you got to say now?
Right.
I'm already there because of past communications. So, guys, package your communication so much in a way that it's something that a person's going to look forward to hearing.
Even if it's difficult.
Yeah.
How you start that entry into that conversation helps guide how it finishes.
Yeah.
If you come the wrong way, all you're doing is getting out what you feel.
Now, what happens if you think that you're coming the right way, but then it's perceived the wrong way? How would you recommend for somebody to switch that around?
You can actually say, okay, I can see you're not receiving what I'm saying. Let me go back because I don't want this conversation to go the wrong way. I can actually tell that something is happening, and it's really important for me that you hear what I'm saying. That it's not something that I'm attacking you on. I'm not coming for you. I'm really trying to express my feelings, and maybe I'm not doing a good job.
Okay.
So if you check yourself, it means that you help the other person to kind of calm down some.
Okay.
Versus feeling like you're coming after them.
Now, I know I'm supposed to be going right into the scripture, but I want to ask one more question.
No problem.
I'm getting help, y'all. So when you're in a situation where you have delivered the conversation in your blue Tiffany box, right? But that person is just still not receptive and still negative. How do you have courage to continue the conversation? And then after that, you have that conversation. And it's like, okay, well, I said this. And then you kind of feel in some way, well, like, did they receive it? Should I go back and say something else? How do you handle a person that no matter how you package it, it's just like, ugh. How do you work with that?
Basically, you say, okay, let's pause. You have two things you can do. You can pause and come back to it and do the check-in, or you can check in that moment.
Okay.
And you can say, okay, I know I said a lot. I mean, do you get where I'm coming from? Does it make sense? I would like to hear what your thoughts are. And if you feel like they're still like this, you've done your part.
Okay.
Because one thing is, you cannot force someone to receive the package, even if it is in the blue Tiffany box. I'm the one that gets excited about the blue Tiffany box. But it doesn't mean everybody else will.
Okay.
But you have to be certain that you did everything the right way.
Okay.
You packaged it right. You put the bow on it. You did the check-in. Hey, did you receive the gift? Did you like it? And then if they still don't, you can't force it. Okay, well, I was hoping to try to come to some type of resolution.
Okay. This is helping me. This happens in business.
And it does.
Clients.
And if if you're not ready to talk about it, or if you feel some kind of way, maybe we can come back to it another time. But I'm here when you want to come back.
Okay.
Now, some situations, honestly speaking, sometimes you may have to leave things where they are. And that's always hard for people, because folks want to always feel like they're working on their communication so things can go back to normal. Not every relationship is going to be able to keep moving forward.
Yes.
And you have to find peace with that.
Okay. Yeah. Awesome. So let's go into the scripture. And the scripture that I chose for today is about what I feel giving the box is about, the pretty box. This is what I feel that it should be. And this is in Ephesians 4:29. Ephesians 4:29. Let no corrupting talk come out of your mouths, but only such as is good for building up, as fits the occasions, that it may give grace to those who fear. Grace to those who fear. So I am loving that. I am loving what the scripture is meaning, what it's saying. It, to me, it's just basically saying, don't come out the mouth foul. Same thing that you said, is the way that you communicate, the way that you share, the way that you package it, so that that person has a good feeling about being in the conversation and communicating with you.
Correct. It's about it's supposed to be about the goods. And, you know, so when you hear people say things like, well, I'm speaking my truth, or I'm grown and I can say what I want to say. When people use terms like that, I really have to pay attention to what their message is, and if it's truly about them, or if it's about them being able to force what they think on others.
Okay.
And if it's about a judgment or forcing on others, then I go, okay, let me back up. Because then I know your message is not going to be met
Yes. Okay.
the right way. But if you're conscious and aware of what that delivery route looks like, you're going to be mindful of that person's feelings. You're going to be considerate. You're going to understand that your message is to really resolve a matter, not to tell them how you feel just because you need them to know.
Because
You really have to be careful. Yeah.
Girl, I get that.
And I'll tell you, you got to learn how to reframe. So even if you're thinking something the wrong way, look at how to switch it and turn it into a positive so that they can receive it. They call me the reframe queen.
Okay.
Because I'll flip everything around. So
I
think
like
about
that.
how you want people to receive your message.
Okay. Awesome. You getting a lot of hearts over here. Now, this is a question, and I don't know if you can attack this really, really quickly. How do you get a woman to understand that a man needs respect instead of abundance of love? That's a lot. Can you?
You know,
we got a couple of minutes.
I'll make it very simple. Every man and woman has needs, right? I think it's important when it comes to communicating, saying what it is you need. You teach people how to treat you.
Okay. Yes.
Whatever it is that
Yes, I
you
say that all
are
the time.
seeking from someone, are you equally able to duplicate that? Can you treat that person the same way or similarly so that they can understand what's important to you? Maybe they think your love language is one thing and maybe it's another. But if you're not communicating that in the right way and you're delivering that message in frustration, they're thinking maybe I'm not doing it enough.
Yes.
Because you're not using your words. They just see that you're agitated, you're frustrated, but you're not using your words. Sit down with that individual, because not all women are the same.
No.
And not all men are the same. And sometimes the roles are reversed. So it's really important that you understand your mate and that you help them understand who you are, because you have to teach them how to treat you so that
Yes.
you can be happy in your relationship.
Okay, look, I'm gonna say amen. I'm in the church. Can I get an amen, everybody? I love it, love it, love it. So we're about to close out right now, but what's next for you? What do you have going on really quickly that we can share?
Well, I have a book signing tomorrow at John 316 Christian Bookstore in Lanham, Maryland, right up the road.
Okay, what time is that?
1 to 4.
Okay.
I'll be there. Also, I have a training coming up, Prepare and Rich, in March 2, actually, March 7th and 23rd, where I train clinicians and clergy on how to work with couples. So that's on my website. I'm also going to be, I feel like there's a podcast. I have a podcast coming up for Creative Outsiders, which is a podcast for filmmakers. And they wanted to hear more about mental health and relationships.
Oh, wow.
And so if you can, go to my website, subscribe. I have a YouTube channel. I have a blog. And then I'm just
And what's
always
your
doing
website?
something. My Selah Wellness.
Okay.
Yep,
My
that's
Say
simple.
La Wellness.
And that's my tagline for every social media outlet except for LinkedIn, Sharon J. Lawrence.
All right, awesome. This has been an amazing show. I want to thank everybody for tuning in, showing up and showing out with your questions, all of your hearts, your likes, and your love. I want you guys to stay tuned because there are some more commercials that we need to share at the end of the show. But you want to make sure that you're here next week because we're having guests every single week, guys, now, because I know that there's so much out here that needs to be shared with you, such as Ms. Lawrence bringing her dynamic information that she shared on the platform today. So, guys, I am Kiana F. Brown, and I want to see you here next week. I want you to share this video out, and remember that today is your stepping stone for a greater tomorrow. You can visit me at www.kianafbrown.com for more information. And we're out of here for now. So, guys, see you next week. Have a blessed weekend.
Bye, guys.
Amazing show. My name is Kiana Brown, owner and stylist at Pooch Styles. We specialize in traditional grooming as well as creative styling and a variety of other services. If you feel about your pet the way I feel about my own, at Pooch Styles, know your pet will be in a loving, safe, and gentle environment. We believe in treating your pet with the same love and care that you would. The big change just don't offer the same.